One of the craziest things is that we have been led astray about energy and the true dynamics and multidimensionality and layers and the true essence of energy and the potentiality of energy and our energetic bodies and the truth of it. We've been led astray, and we can't be mad about it because that's just giving our power away. Is what that does. So you have to take responsibility so you can get your power back. That's actually one of the downloads that I got the other day was because we have for us to take responsibility, we have to turn the stigma away from that like saying it in that way, like like take responsibility. There's like a stigma attached to that, like we're trying to give it away on purpose when we're not, and that's not how it is. But when by taking responsibility, all we're doing, this is what we're doing, to take responsibility, it just needs a little shift in perspective, is what it is. Because to take responsibility is to take back our divine right to choose sovereignly what we decide to create or express our experience to be. That's what taking responsibility of our experience is. It's just reclaiming our right. And that's why it's responsibility. It's taking back something that was already ours. That's why the re is there, the prefix of the re, which means again, and it's taking back what is already ours originally, our divine right, sovereignly to choose our experience with our choice, with our free will choice, and our expression, our creation of our now moment. By taking responsibility of that back, we're taking back our divine right to express and create in that moment in the way that we want, and we choose to, because we have that divine right. We really do. We're just so complex and we're so intricate and we're so multi-layered and multi-dimensional, there's so many things that it comprise us that it's difficult with the entanglement and the energetic entanglement of other energies that we don't realize that and because of conditioning and manipulation that has been put upon us. But like I said, being angry about that, it only gives our power away. It only gives that energy back to another energy, which we don't want. And so to take responsibility is just taking back ownership of your own energy and to take back your divine right sovereignly to choose in any moment. But I digress. I don't even know where I was going with that. I know that um yeah, to choose in any moment. What I came on here to do was to it's crazy, like, because we don't realize that we do that, you know what I mean, and we don't realize we've been led astray with energy and the mechanics of energy and the dynamics of energy and the truth of energy and how it works. And like I said, we're so intricate and complex that it's very detailed, that there's a lot to it. It's not linear in any way. Like there's a lot that makes up it, and in different ways that can happen. And so it is challenging to understand, but it can be done. We are capable of it. If we couldn't think of it, we wouldn't be able to be capable of it. But the fact that we can even think of the extremity of this and the potentiality of it means that it's possible. It, like I said, we wouldn't be able to if it wasn't, honestly. And so, yeah, like we've been led astray to the actual mechanics of what energy is and our energy centers and others' energy and projections and intentions and purpose and free will choice and like reciprocity, energetic reciprocity. And these are the things that we need to come back to, that we need to remember, that we need to, and it's remembering it's because we do know it and it is around us to know. We just have to remember that we know it, to take back that knowledge, to take that understanding, to apply it in the right ways. And we can do that, and we're going to. It's going to happen. It's just that's the trajectory of our existence, is to remember our energetic bodies and what we're really made of and what we can really do based on our energy. And so it's just, we just need to come back to that. And so that's one of the things that I was going to say. The other thing I was going to say is that it was crazy because my spirit team wakes me up because I get attacked in the astral realm, and they try to harvest my energy in the astral realm. And I still have yet to, I mean, I've still had energetic blockages that have made it hard for me to be able um, to control or to have consciousness or conscientiality, consciousness while asleep. I'm working on it though, but my spirit team's been protecting me and waking me up before they can actually harvest from me. But it doesn't, I was actually attacked, and being the full moon, they tried to do rituals on me and send like really, really dense negative energy to me. And I had nightmares of, demonic energies, but I woke up and I did not fear because I know better. And I read Psalms 91 over and over and over, because prayer is protection and it's power, and it calls in your angels. And I called in my angels and my ancestors, and it really sucked as an experience though. And it's on me to learn where I'm vulnerable for those kinds of things, but I'm not as vulnerable as I used to be. And I have more energetic and support and spiritual support than I used to have. So that I knew was possible to have, to call in. So, and I do now, you know what I mean? I know my energy and I understand. I'm not perfectly, or I wouldn't need to, or, I wouldn't be able to be affected by these energies. But I'm working on it, and my support team, my spiritual team supports me, and it doesn't matter, like, it doesn't, like, as long as I don't let myself fall, and I keep trying, and I keep getting back up, and I center myself and ground myself and call my energies in, nothing can take me down. It doesn't matter if I'm even affected, if I'm still able to be affected and be vulnerable in that way. It doesn't matter, because I know the truth. And the truth is, we always can come back to our center, and we can always come back and ground and get connected with creator, God, creator source. And I can balance and ground my energy and call in angelic energies. And it doesn't matter what vulnerability I do have. Even if it's still there, I know how to remedy it so that those energies can't affect me. Those dense and negative energies can't affect me in that way. And it took a lot of practice and a lot of hard work and healing and faith and honesty and genuineness to get to the point that I'm even at, to be able to do that, to be strong enough to be able to do that, strong enough energetically. But that's what I mean. These energies are getting desperate now because they can't control me and they can't harvest off me like they used to. And the truth is coming to light about this whole situation. That's what I'm here to do, is to bring the truth of this situation of harvesting and of sacral energy harvesting, sexual abuse and trauma and human trafficking and all that kind of stuff to light. I'm here to do that. That's my mission and purpose, is to bring that truth into this world and to stand for it. And I call in the frequencies of truth, and I activate the light sword of truth, which brings in Syrian energies and Lyran energies and Archangel Michael and archangels and my angels and my angelic team and my celestial team and my elementals and my ancestors for my highest good, and all these energies that support me, and their energies fortify my energy and raise my vibration and surround me with their vibrations. And so, negative energies can't get to me in that way. But I'm here to speak this truth and to stand in it. And I am a whistleblower in that way, because I wanted to be authentic and genuine with myself. It doesn't even matter about any other energies. I invoke the law of energetic reciprocity, which states that no energy consciousness can come into or interact with my energy consciousness with ill or negative intentions, or lower vibrations or dense vibrations, for I am not intending ill or negative or lower vibrational or dense vibrational on any other energy. And that's the law of energetic reciprocity. They can't come and harvest my energy when I ain't trying to harvest their energy. They got to keep their energy and I'll keep mine, and I got to forgive it, because I don't want to hold on to it, because that just hurts me. You know what I mean? So even if they are trying to hurt me, I don't want to care, because that's not helping. It's not helping. It's not helping the situation at all. Like anger and all those things, it doesn't mean dismiss anger. Honor your feelings. You have to be genuine and authentic and honest with yourself, and honor your feelings, and honor yourself in the ways that you are. And by dismissing and avoiding and distracting and stuff, that isn't honoring you. That's avoiding, and it's pretending something isn't real when it is. And so if you're angry about something, you need to look at it and find out why are you letting it take from you in that way. And it's usually wounding. It's usually some sort of trauma that it comes from, and we don't even know. That's what we've been taught, not to pay attention to these things and to avoid it, so they can keep stealing our energy, and so that we wouldn't be as powerful as we can be. And so that's why I've done these things, so I could come back to myself, so I could come back to the truth of who I am. And I had to be honest with myself to do that, and honest with everyone else as well. It's true. You don't have to tell all of your story. That's boundaries. People, you don't have to, that isn't the way that works. It's just, as long as you're honest with yourself, that's what counts. That's how you start to clear your karma. That's how you start to own up to the things that have hurt you or that still hurt you. and you can heal them within yourself. You don't have to tell a damn soul about it. You don't have to tell anyone about it. It's on you to figure it out for yourself, to take your power back in that way. And you don't have to tell anybody about it. I didn't. I've been doing these things without letting anyone know, and because I don't have to. I don't have to explain myself to anyone. No one should have to, and no one should feel like they have to. And so, honestly, why? That's just giving your power away in a way to something else that they have their own issues that they need to deal with. You don't have to explain your issues or how you are with them, and they don't have to do the same with you. It's a vice. It's the same, reciprocity. It's the same with, that needs to be respected boundary wise in both ways. Like, everyone has their own journey and how and their own life lessons and their own trauma and their own wounding and their own healing that they have to do. And that's why we need to respect each other and give ourselves grace, because we all have to go through our own journeys in our own unique way, unique to ourselves. It's crazy and cool that way. It really is. And it's cool that we can go as far in the depths of pain and come out of it and use it for our own power and to better ourselves, and not go back to that, but be honest about it and use it and integrate it for ourselves. That's what makes us beautiful as a creation and expression of God and God, creator, source. And so, yeah, like, it's just, we just need to learn our energy, and we need to be honest and genuine and authentic with ourselves to do so. Like I said, it doesn't mean you have to tell everyone. That's giving your power away, and that's not the way that it works. As long as you're honest with yourself and genuine with yourself, that's all that matters. All that matters. And that's what you can't hide anything from the divine and God. I mean, like, or yourself. You can try, but it comes out sideways in another way if you don't look at it. And I know that from experience. Like, you end up, hurting others and not meaning to. Usually the case. You really don't mean to. It's just you don't know how to deal with those emotions in that way, and that trauma in that way. Sometimes you don't even know it's that. Most times you don't know it's that trauma that is fueling that is making it so you act in those ways. And that's why you have to empathize and forgive and have grace for another, because I can relate. You can relate to we all feel pain. It's in different ways, but it's still pain, and it's still hurt, and it's still, I mean, and trauma too, wounding. And that's why you can empathize and forgive and have mercy and grace for another, is because you understand what pain feels like. You understand what suffering feels like. And so you shouldn't want to feel like being able to do that to another is okay at all. So, yeah, we just need to learn our energy and learn ourselves all over again. And that's the beauty of the experience, is coming back to who we already were, having compassion for ourselves and for others. And doing so, by having compassion for ourselves, we have compassion for others. And so, but we have to do it for ourselves first. We have to give ourselves grace before we can grace another. We have to forgive ourselves before we can forgive another. And the thing is, it's really hard because we don't realize that we're giving our power away in that way, and that it is our choice. And so that's how we have to forgive ourselves, is because we end up finding, that's in my journey, you end up finding you're the one that even if you didn't mean to, even if you were a child and you didn't know any better at the time, you are the one that decides how it affects you now, and what you're going to do about it. And so that's why you got to forgive yourself in every moment, so you can move on and face it and be truthful about it to yourself. And then, like I said, in doing so, you end up forgiving others, even the ones that have hurt you intentionally, even, because you can understand where they were operating from, because you've operated in a similar circumstance, maybe not to the degree that another has, but you can understand that pain and how it can make someone act in bad ways and negative ways that affects others in bad and negative ways. You just got to be honest and truthful with yourself to a degree that you can empathize and understand and have compassion for another in that way. And yourself, honestly, I think it's the hardest, is forgiving ourselves. And it really is. Like, for me, that's been one of the hardest tragedies and traumatic experiences that I've with my spirit team, that, like, I cry because I remember that they're there, they really are there, and that it's my fault that I don't remember them, and it's not intentional, but it's still, that is the hardest thing, is the separation from God for me, the separation from the spirit, my spirit team and the divine and the true love that is there and the energies that really do support us, that they're actually there, and I just haven't believed they were. And I have to forgive myself so I can feel them again, so I can sense them again, so I can have that connection again. And it's such a wounding that I chose to forget in the first place, but it was because, so I could remember all over again. That's the thing about it. Even it still hurts though. It still hurts. It's still traumatic to choose to forget that you're made of love and that you come from love and that you're surrounded by love and supported by love, and not thinking that you are, and then coming to the remembering that you are, and that you have to be the one to allow it, and forgive yourself for not allowing it in the ways that you have. It's traumatic. It's really hard. It's a difficult one to face. It is, but I still have to face it because I'm not all the way connected yet either, and I'm working on it though, and I cry and I alchemize and I transmute and I'm honest and genuine with myself and I just be raw with myself, so that I can get that connection again, so I can be connected to my love again, to the unconditional love that is everything, that is in all, and it's a process. It is, but it wouldn't be worth it. I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have chose to forget to unless or to remember all over again unless it was worth it to do so. That's what I believe. Anyway, okay. There's that there's that tidbit of information for today.